Hi guys, welcome back to Detailing and the Beast. Today I want to talk about something that's probably my biggest interior bugbear, and that is odour sanitizers and odorizers that do not last. Okay, so I'm sure many of you have had this problem, but I'm just going to talk through the evolution of the products that I've had to try and solve this. So originally we all started off with the hanging air freshener, and although they are good, I do feel now that they're probably a bit dated. A car looks a bit better, in my opinion, if it doesn't have a hanging air freshener in it. But, you know, we all still do it from time to time, but I do think it looks better. It looks cleaner if it doesn't have one in there, but you still want that scent. Them things are good for maybe 2 weeks, and then the scent starts to die off. So them aren't too bad in terms of longevity, but you'll probably pay between, well, anywhere between £2 and £4 for one of them. So they are quite expensive when you start adding them up over the year. The next thing gets rid of that problem in terms of the hanging air freshener, and that is the sprayable scent. Now, I've gone through a few of these, and to be honest, they all suffer the same problem. They don't last very long. The worst of the lot, and this isn't a brand bashing by any means, but the worst of the lot is the Easy Car Care Vanilla. Now, this stuff smells amazing. If you had the old Sleek, the vanilla scent, that was amazing. When you'd clean the interior with that stuff, the car smelled good for a few days. This is the dedicated air freshener version of that, but it lasts about 5 minutes. It really is that poor. It smells awesome, but it just doesn't last. And as such, I just don't use it. The next one I had was the Hellshine Heaven scent. Now this smells like Haribo's. It smells really, really nice. It's a little too sweet, but it is a nice scent. This lasts a little longer, but it also suffers from the same problem where it just doesn't last long enough. The nicest one and the actual longest lasting one of the lot that I have is this lemon and mango, which is Mangocello from Chemical Guys. Now, as you can see, that is by far my favourite. I haven't used it in a little while because of the trick that I'm going to show you in a minute. But this is probably the best one of the lot that I've got. But there is a problem with these two. If you over apply them, they are very, I don't think they're sugary as such, but you'll get what I mean in a minute. If you over apply them into mats and carpets, after a little while, if you rub your hands over the mats or carpets in particular under the mats, you'll feel it's sticky. It's difficult to describe, but it feels sticky. And the mats do actually attract dirt faster if you've over applied these things. So just be aware of that. I'm not particularly anymore a fan of sprayable scents. The next thing I tried, and I've got a dedicated video on this if you want to go and check that out, was the Foggit Machine and chemicals. Now, I also aren't really a fan of this, I'll be honest. Good things about this is that this has done 3 cars, this bubblegum scent, and you can see there that you use literally a few millilitres. It really is the most economical way of odorizing your car. It lasts probably 4 or 5 days. But the biggest problem with this method is the setup and the execution. Setting up a Foggit machine, you know, you've got to get it out, you've got to plug it in, I've got extending cables to get it out to the car, you've got to put a towel down on the back seat, you've got to set the Foggit machine up, you've got to wait for it to warm up, you've got to, you know, it just takes forever. It's not a very convenient way of odorizing your car. Which leads me on to the next one. Now, again, it's not a brand review, as per we have many variants of this, but these are the air sanitizers and odor eliminators, and these are fantastic. So they come with a turbo jet nozzle, and I'll demo that for you in a minute. But we've got many scents, and the way these do last on their own, these last for a good few days, maybe into week 2 potentially. But I have a trick, and this is not a new trick, but it's new with these. Okay, so what we're going to do is replace our cabin filter. Now, as I say, this is not a new trick. People have been doing this for a little while with essential oils. So you can put essential oils in there, but you know, they smell a bit housey. That's what essential oils are for, right? They don't smell very car-y. Okay. The next trick that people did was to spray their favourite aftershave in there or perfume, and that works well. So you give it a good spritz and off you go. But aftershaves are expensive, right? You know, you can pay 40, 50, 60 quid a bottle, and you're going to put you know, a good few spritzes in there. Yes, it'll last, but you're going to be using quite a bit of product. So what I've found, and I've done this on my missus's car, and we'll talk about that in a minute with the watermelon sugar. But what I've found works the best is if you take one of these air sanitizers and odorizers, one of these turbo jets. This one is Savage, which is based on the Sauvage scent. I wanted something a bit nicer than like sweets and stuff like that, so that's why I've chosen this one. And we give this new filter a good blast, both sides. Let that settle. And then we go and replace that in the car. This will keep that scent coming through your vents literally for months. Now, I've done it in my missus's car and we use the watermelon sugar. I do have to be honest, this particular fragrance is very, very strong. I think it's very concentrated in comparison to like the Creed one or the Sauvage one. This one is very strong and it's very sweet. Initially, it's very pleasing, but it gets a little bit sickly after a while. And that's been in my missus's car now for about 5 or 6 weeks. It was just after Christmas. This video, by the way, is filmed week beginning 21st of February. So it does become a little bit sickly. 5 or 6 weeks later, if the kids have been in the car and they get out, I can smell this on them. It really is that potent. And it's a little bit sickly after a while. So just be aware which fragrance you choose anyway. So that was the little trick using a brand new cabin filter. I hope this video helped you out. If you're suffering with the same problems I am, I hope this will solve it for you. And that brings us to the end of this week's video. Thank you for watching. If you're new here, please hit the subscribe button. It really will help the channel to grow. If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up. If you didn't, shame on you. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye.